Hello, this is Julie Young with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching the Video Voters Guide or listening to our podcast. We're here today to talk with candidates running in the May 16th, 2023 special district election. We are grateful for the support of the Carol and Velma Sailing Foundation, the League of Women Voters of Portland Education Fund, the Weiss Foundation, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me is Mr. John Masterman, running for Multnomah Education Service District Board of Directors, Position 1, Zone 5. Welcome, Mr. Masterman. May I call you John?
You may. I'm good to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's good to see you. So we will proceed with some questions, which I know that you have been advised in advance of what I'm going to ask you. So let's get right to it.
Okay.
First of all, please tell us about yourself and including why you're running for office.
I'm a married dad of two daughters. I have an automotive background. I run a small business rebuilding transmissions. Been blue collar most of my life. Lifelong Portland metro area resident as well. There's a lot to enjoy around here, and it's fun sharing those things with the two kiddos as they get old enough to be able to enjoy it. Why am I running? There's nothing quite like having your own kids to open your eyes to the benefit of helping all kids get what they need. Once that protector and helper mode is activated, a lot of things show up in your mind that you may not have noticed before. And our job as a community is to help raise them all to be functional adults that can think for themselves and succeed and thrive in the adult world.
Okay, thank you. And how can Multnomah Education Service District, or as we refer to it, MESD, use limited funding most efficiently to provide necessary services to as many students as possible?
Well, knowing where funding is being spent is a key, and to analyze the benefits of that spending. Does money out help students learn the fundamentals? Are we teaching reading, writing, math, basic civics, geography, history, etc.? Those are the things that we need to know when we go into the adult world. Anything else that we focus class time on or learning time on that takes away from that is just taking away from those basics. And we have some shortcomings in the results on that, as is documented, both grade level milestones and graduation numbers. And we need to stick with the basics. Some of the more smaller items, connecting with parents and why some services are necessary for the students, would help everyone work together for a better result. An example is breakfast. Being hungry can be a huge distraction. I know it is for me. Having something to eat for those students is critical. Understanding why that child isn't being fed before school may be a step towards solving a problem rather than just reacting to it.
So what skills and experience do you have that would enable you to support the core mission of the MESD?
Well, I thrive on connecting people with what they need, just making connections. I've had several family members over the years benefit from ESD services, both in Multnomah and Clackamas counties. I've seen firsthand that not every student thrives in the regular classroom. Every student is an individual and has different needs. When those needs require special attention or curriculum, there should be a way to find out the best possible solution to their individual needs. A one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work for everyone, covers a lot of folks, but not everyone. We need to provide the tools that help identify what that unique person needs to help them in the best way possible. It's amazing to see struggles replaced with successes.
Thank you, John. What experience do you bring to the tasks of program oversight, negotiation of labor issues, and establishment of personnel policies?
Well, I've run my own business for several years now, very small, it's just me, but I still have to manage all my finances and relationships. In my time as a small business owner and as an employee, I've learned that relationships are the key to smooth operation, regardless, because you still have to interact with people no matter what. Negotiating agreements and solutions with people that have differing viewpoints is something I found to be essential, and I've done fairly well at it throughout my time. To establish policies that are fair yet efficient while being open to discuss specific requests is good. Just like with students, employees, business partners are all individuals when you get right down to it. Now, a policy is needed, but don't trip over your own words. Policy is needed, but it can't just be a blanket. Have to be open to listening to input on it. What might we be able to do different to accommodate more people in a better way?
Thank you. What motivated you to seek election to the MESD board?
Well, first is my personal experience with our youngest daughter. She spent the first 3 months of her life in a hospital bed. We were connected with MESD so she could receive early intervention services, MECP they call it. It's an amazing program, very well thought out. Knowing she was behind on development opportunities, you can't learn much laying in a bed, she was able to receive physical and speech therapy that was designed specifically to her needs. This program really appeals to my way of thinking. Rather than react to a problem, student potentially behind when starting school, this program looks ahead and thinks, all right, what can we get to help them get caught up before it's a problem? That makes perfect sense to me. And it helped our little one get caught up, and she graduated, I guess you could call it, out of that early intervention program a few months early because she met all the milestones that were there for anyone that had never been delayed. However, some things did come up that leave a little opportunity for improvement, I would say. Having to do a physical therapy and speech therapy session with a toddler over video chat was, well, challenging to say the least. Those sessions needed to be in person, as so many other things do as well. Virtual just was not the same for those.
So is there a single aspect of the MESD that you believe you would seek to change if elected? And what is that?
Well, this is going to seem kind of small in the bigger picture, but my big view is cutting down on distractions. With technology these days, I think that cell phones need to be either not in the classroom or at least turned off. They can be available for emergencies if they're with you and off, but they're not a distraction if they're not turned on. Nobody needs to be doing Facebook during English class.
Thank you. I'm afraid we're out of time. It's a pleasure to chat with you. Our time is up. And I want to thank you so much. To recap, you are listening to the Video Voters Guide interview and podcast that I've just done with John Masterman. He's running for the Multnomah Education Service District Board of Directors, Position 1, Zone 5. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much for having me.
This concludes our Video Voters Guide and podcast interview of John Masterman, who is running for the Multnomah Education Service District Board of Directors, Position 1, Zone 5. Election Day is Tuesday, May 16th. Be sure to inform yourself about the candidates and exercise your right to vote. This is Julie Young for the League of Women Voters of Portland. Thank you for your interest.